In today's video, we take a quick look at the new updates for After Effects. Hey, what's going on internet? Josh Noel from SonduckFilm, and I'm very excited about this new update for After Effects. 3 great features were introduced: Luma scopes, essential graphics, and Camera Shake DeBlur. All 3 of these features are fantastic, and we're going to take a look at them in this tutorial. So the first one I got up here is Luma scopes. Basically, before we get into Luma scopes, this shot is from my upcoming short film called Shrouded, which will be posted on this channel this coming Wednesday. So I want to give you guys a heads up that there won't be a tutorial, but a short film, and I ask you guys to go ahead and please watch the video when we post it and let me know what you guys think. It'll be awesome. After Effects added video scopes for After Effects in here, so that's really nice. So basically I can see the information of what this shot is like, and I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to color correct with these in this video. I'll make a separate tutorial for this because this requires a tutorial on its own to understand these charts if you don't know what these are. But for example, here I can add a curves effect, and I can bring up the shadows here, and this information moves up, so it can kind of be able to read what's going on now. And so if you want to pull up Luma scopes, all you have to do is go over to the tab over here and select on color, and this will pop up. And of course, you might only be displayed with a waveform like this, and you can select different displays by clicking on this wrench down here, and you can check on different sort of scopes here. So we can take off the histogram or put it back in. We take off the parade, and things like that. So that's how you can use this. And in my personal opinion as a cinematographer, this is definitely my favorite update of all time for After Effects, and this is something I've been wanting for a very long time. Because I usually just use DaVinci Resolve for color correction, but sometimes I have to come over to After Effects with the ungraded shot and apply some, do some compositing. And sometimes I wish I could color correct it in After Effects, but now I can with these scopes because now I can read what's going on. So that's really awesome. Very excited for this. So they have also added Essential Graphics, which is amazing. We go up to Window, Essential Graphics. So what Essential Graphics is that you can tell After Effects, hey, I want you to remember these settings for a template, that when I bring this into After Effects, my editor, or I can change this a little bit later. Essential Graphics is essentially, you see what I did there, is essentially a motion graphic template. So we can bring in parameters into this panel over here, and then we can bring this over to Premiere and change settings inside of Premiere. So like I can change like the optical flare brightness of this flare right here, which would be blown out, but that's just a quick example. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this from scratch so we can see how this works and we can get started here. So let me just quickly reset this. So make sure you go up to Window, Essential Graphics, so you can have this up here, and then of course you can rename your template or whatever, and of course you can select a sequence here. I'm gonna go ahead and use the sequence for a text to the beat tutorial that I did I think a week or 2 ago, and we're gonna come in here. We're gonna grab a few parameters. So let's say you want to change the text in Premiere. Say we want to change the subscribe text to whatever we want. Maybe we're unsure what this should say, and we need to get the job done, and we need to give this to the editor, but maybe the producer doesn't know what needs to be said, or maybe we're just making like a lower thirds template, and we want to be able to change the text. So what we can do is go to the text layer here, open it up, go into the text here, and grab the source text and drop it right into the Essentials Graphics panel here. And of course we can come here to source text, and we can call this maybe subscribe text. And then if you come into this panel here, you can always change the text as well. So we added like a number 3 to there. And what's great is now that the editor, or you'll be able to change this a little bit later in Premiere. So if we click on Solo Supported Properties, Essential Graphics basically pulls out the parameters that you can drop in here. So it seems like you can't really add transform properties into here, like position, scale, rotation, anchor point, but typically pretty much any other parameter that I've seen can kind of go in here. There's probably a few parameters that can't specifically go in here, but for the most part, a lot of these parameters can. So like we can come over to like, we want to take this white background, for example. We can, go to the solid down here. We go up to Effect, Generate, Fill, and we come down here, grab the color in here, and drag this here, and we can click on this color, and we can of course change the color inside Premiere now, and that's looking good. And of course we can continue to go through this. So we can grab like this nice range selector and bring it in here, and of course change that later in Premiere. And of course we can also use plugins, which is also amazing. So we can grab like the brightness parameter in here. Maybe we rename this to optical flares brightness. And I think that's awesome as well. I'm pretty sure you need to have, like, whatever system you're going to be changing this on, you have to have After Effects installed. And I'm pretty sure if you're doing a plugin, you have to have that plugin on that system as well. So I think that's something to keep in mind if you're going to go working with this. So you can always add a comment in here so you can insult your editor. And then when you're done, make sure you click on Export Motion Graphics Template. It'll ask you if you want to save, click yes, and basically a pop-up will come here and ask you where do you want to save it. You can save it to your presets folder, which is Essential Graphics, or you can go to your local drive and save it where you want. So I'll come here, maybe call it, Essential Graphics 3. This is my third time exporting this, and we'll click OK. And then what's nice, we can jump right over to Premiere. And this is my previous Essential Graphics, but if you go up to Window, Essential Graphics, this window will pop up and you click on Browse. So since we didn't install this in our presets folder, we need to go up to Install Motion Graphics Template, and we need to navigate to that folder and select a new Motion Graphics template. We can bring this in here, and then what we need to do is just drag this into our timeline. And this will take a second, and then here we are. Now we have our entire template. And if we click on this, we have our parameters in here. So we come over to the subscribe text here. We can always rename it to, whatever. And you see the text changed right here inside of Premiere. We can go to, maybe the optical flare brightness, and we can jump that up, and you see this has changed. And of course, we go to this background, change the color. You can't delete this comment, so your editor has to look at this and, feel ashamed. So there's nothing they can do about that comment. So it's pretty awesome. And we'll jump back over to After Effects. So sometimes when you add Warp Stabilizer, you kind of get like these blurry frames, popping up out every now and then. I'll just show you a quick example of a clip that I warp stabilized. And please forgive me, this isn't like a horrible example because, I usually don't shoot unstable shots often. But there's a few instances of blurry images, and I'll go ahead and just show you guys real fast kind of how we can work on this. So right here, if I go to this marker, this shot is just a little bit blurry at this instance after I applied Warp Stabilizer. And if I go up to Effect, Blur, and add Camera Shake DeBlur, basically it's going to help reduce that blurriness by a little bit. It takes a little bit of time to load, and it does add, it looks like, in my opinion, it does add like a lot of time in render. That's always nice. And then see, it kind of deblurred it just a little bit. And we go here to the blur method. You can always set it to higher quality. And definitely before and after, you can see a difference in the blurriness there. So you look at her face right here, you can see that's kind of blurry there, but then it's kind of back to sharp, and that's always nice. Of course, you can, adjust the shake intensity. If you set it to 0%, it's gonna be completely blurry. If you set it to 100%, it's gonna continue to get rid of some of that actual blurry frame. So, and of course, you increase the strength. A little before and after. It does seem like it works very nicely. But that's basically how you can use this effect. I'm not gonna render this out because it does add a little bit of render time to it, and I didn't feel like rendering it. But so that's how you can use the Camera Shake DeBlur. We also learned how to use Essential Graphics and took a look at the new Luma scopes. So really awesome video today, I think. Love the updates. So this was a fantastic update. I absolutely love it. Good job to the people at Adobe. You guys killed it with this update. Absolutely amazing. I love it. And I hope you guys do as well. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys thought this update was great, or maybe they kind of missed a few opportunities here, but I think it was amazing. Just let me know what you guys think as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. And please be sure to hit me up on my social media networks. Those links are in the description of this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a good day.